Hi, and welcome to my first episode of The Country Kettle. I'm your host, Ann Danner. I created The Country Kettle because I wanted a way to share my down-home Southern cooking with everyone, and I kind of have a lot of friends and family that I share my cooking with, and as they always talk about my cooking, they say, you know what, you need to have your own show. You need to have something where, you're sharing your cooking and you're sharing your recipes. So we came up with the Country Kettle, and we came up with our own at-home subscription services as a way to share our meals and to share our down-home Southern recipes. We know that the South has been this place for comfort food, and that Southern, it's nothing like the Southern style food. So today I'm going to share with you something that my mom made for us at home that was just awesome. My grandkids love it, my children love it, my girls love it, and it's salmon croquettes. And for some reason, not everyone can make those salmon croquettes. And this is a recipe for some great salmon croquettes. Now, mind you, I'm not one with the kind of weights and measures, so kind of bear with me. You cook, you use your own system of weights and measures as I've learned from mine. Now, first, we're going to get our salmon. I use the double O pink salmon that I find here in the South, which is good for me, but whatever salmon that you prefer to use is up to you. Now, I've already opened the salmon. The first thing we're going to do is drain the salmon to make sure that the salmon, I don't use the juices from the salmon. Some people prefer to use the juices from the salmon. I don't. So the first thing that I'm going to do is drain the salmon. Now, here in the South, we have so many different recipes that you don't find in a lot of other areas of the country. After you drain your salmon, you're just going to dump them over in your mixing bowl. Now, make sure you have, according to how much salmon that you're making, make sure you have, a sizable mixing bowl at hand. My grandson, he loves salmon, so I know that I have to make 3 because he's going to eat a lot of salmon. The next step is to make sure that that you have all of your utensils, everything that you're going to cook with. Make sure that you have everything handy. The worst thing that you can do is run out of stuff that you're going to cook with, or not have the things that you're going to cook with. So make sure that you have the things that you're going to cook with at hand. Kind of take them out beforehand and set everything out. So your ingredients for these salmon croquettes would be your salmon, eggs, bleached flour, onions, bell pepper, garlic, and I use a mixture of seasonings. So whatever house seasoning or mixture of seasoning you like, it's your choice. So kind of use that. But with me, I use a mixture of seasoning. Like I said, it's the South, so kind of anything goes when it comes to seasonings here. So my next step is I'm going to use 4 eggs. Okay, now after I've placed the eggs in here, I'm going to now put in my flour. Now your flour, I never measure my flour, so kind of forgive me on that because nothing with me is really measured, so I never measure my flour. Now while I'm making this, I have the oil in my deep fryer heating. Make sure your oil that you have heating is nice and hot, just like you're gonna fry fish, because it is fish. So make sure your oil is nice and hot so that your salmon gets nice and crispy. So I'm gonna add probably, let's say, 1/3 of a cup of flour. I'm gonna add my bell peppers. Now, I have to process my bell peppers up and my onions because my grandkids do not like to see the bell peppers or the onions in their food. So I have to process the bell peppers and the onions up just so they can't see them in their food or they will lose it. Next, I'm going to add my garlic. Now, don't go crazy with the garlic. Remember, garlic is very strong. It has a very strong smell and an even stronger taste. So I'm just going to add like a little more than half a tablespoon of garlic just to give it that good old taste. And then I'm going to close it back up because it's like super strong. Now I'm going to go to my seasoning cabinet. The first thing I'm going to be sure to add is my pepper. And remember, we talked about the seasoning. You're going to season to taste. So some people like a little seasoning, some people like a lot. I just like different seasonings. The cumin. It gives it a good little different taste. Seasoning salt. Not a lot, you don't want it salty. Now something that I add that's a little different, it gives a little different taste, is I add a little brown sugar bourbon seasoning. People always ask me, what do you put in that, your salmon croquette, to give it a little different taste? That's what I put in there. A little brown sugar bourbon seasoning. And last, I'm going to put a little bold chipotle in. And it gives it this awesome taste. I can't even explain to you how it tastes. It just gives it this awesome taste. Next, get ready to get your hands dirty because that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Take your hand and you're gonna mix it up really well. And make sure, oh my gosh, that smells so good. Make sure that you're mixing everything in here really good. This just smells awesome. Oh my gosh. Because you want everything to be mixed together well. So make sure you kind of get around those sides really good. You know, my mom shared, and my aunt and my grandma, they shared so many of their great recipes with us. Excuse me. And I'm so happy to be able to share these recipes with you. Okay, so with me, after I've mixed everything really good, I double step and I go to a sink and wash my hands off really good because I'm going to make my patties up. And then so the best way for me to kind of make my salmon patties that I know that they're all even is to use a nice large spoon. So I'm going to go over here to my spoon by my old faithful spoon drawer and get one of my good sized spoons. And I'm going to take a nice scoop. I'm going to patty it up. And get it ready. Next one. I'm going to patty it up and get it ready. The next one. I'm going to patty it up and get it ready. And you keep doing this until you have all of your patties kind of patted up and ready to go. But make sure, now if you're cooking on top of the stove, then you don't need to heat your oil this long. But since I use a deep fryer, I have two different deep fryers. I have one that I fry my regular meat in and one that I fry my fish in. And since I'm using the deep fryer, it takes a little longer for it to warm up. But these salmon patties, when I tell you, they are awesome. And they're also, you know, we love grits in the morning, so they're also great to have with your grits in the morning for breakfast, especially if you're a grits and gravy gal like I am. They are so great to have with your grits in the morning. But they're an awesome evening dish as well. If you could just smell these patties, they smell just unbelievable. A few more here, and we're ready to go to the deep fryer. Because I can hear that deep fryer over there sizzling up and ready to go. So this last one, we gotta kind of use our hand for that last one. Kind of make sure we get everything out. Alright, that was our last patty. Now, I'm going to wash my hands over here. Make sure I get my hands good and sanitized. And our deep fryer is ready to go. It popped open for us. So it's ready to go. So we can begin to drop our patties in. Wait a minute, I'm going to back up with that camera and make sure this grease doesn't hit you. And make sure that when you're dropping them in, you're not like extra close because the grease is hot and it will hit you. But you can hear how hot that grease is. But oh my gosh, that smell. It smells like we're in a restaurant. It just smells so good. So I'm going to drop in the patties 3 at a time. And we'll be right back. Alright, we've taken out our first batch and we're getting ready now to take out our second batch, which as you see is coming out golden. Oh, they just smell so delightful. And before we put in our third batch, I just want you to look at how these come out. They are so, oh my gosh, they look so good. And I bet they taste even, oh my gosh. These are delicious. I just want you to know. So now you know how to make salmon croquettes. We want you to tune in tomorrow. 5 days a week, we're recording our home-cooked Southern meals here on The Country Kettle. Log on to thecountryKettle.com or go to our YouTube channel at The Country Kettle. See you tomorrow on The Country Kettle. I'm Ann Danner.